What is depression in children? I have had this question constantly asked me, especially because I work with children, and parents ask, but what could be depressing children? They are young, what are they thinking about? What is stressing them? Because we imagine that for children, they are just okay people. There's nothing that should be worrying them or even stressing them or even getting them to uncomfortable spaces. Now the truth is, just like any other human being, a child is a human being that is developing, and they are experiencing virtually what the environment that they are presented in gives them. So just like adults, children get depressed. And we can be able to tell by behavior from 2 years when a child has disturbances in their emotional selves. Now, from 2 years, we may not exactly be able to call it depression. However, the signs of depression in children begin to appear from 2 years when the child is very, very little. So by the time a child gets to 5 or 6 years and 7, we can be able to tell clear signs of depression. So how does this depression in children look like? Just like in adults, when a child is in this space where they have no interest in play, because ideally the work of children is to play. So when a child is not engaging in play, they are no longer enthusiastic, they do not want to play, then we need to get very concerned, because that would be telling us that they are going through a loss of interest in the best thing that they love. And that gives us the first, concern of the emotional well-being of a child. We are going to break it down into ages so that we understand what we are looking for at whatever age. But just the fact that a child is not playful, and then also that the child becomes very irritable. They are crying too much, they are throwing tantrums, they are becoming almost uncontrollable. And this is a child who was ideally very well coordinated and at some level of independence by themselves. This is in younger children. Then we need to be getting concerned, because that could be communicating something. So now I know you may be asking, how do you tell the difference between depression or any other situation in a child? For a child, when you find they are very unplayful, and then they are very clingy, or they are always wanting to be held, they don't want to be left, and they are struggling with tantrums, wanting to be taken care of all the time. And then now this may be speaking of any other condition, but also could be pointing to some level of depression. In older children, say 6, 7, 8, 10, or even preteens to teenagers, that is up to 17 years, we see actual symptoms of worthlessness, not feeling worthy. They do not feel like they are good enough. They struggle with who they are. Then they, between around 4 years to 8, 9, 10 years, we see dangerous behavior. I am sure all of us have seen children hanging on cliffs, those rails of the houses. They go up and then they want to swing with a bulb. That kind of dangerous play would be pointing to some level of depression if they are highly irritable, and also they are either between too aggressive or completely isolated. They don't want to play, or they are too aggressive. They are hitting on people, they are biting, they are screaming, they are doing those extreme rough things. Or they are on the other extreme of not wanting to play. They are very isolated. They just want to stay around people they know and parents. Those would be pointers to depression. So at this point, I need to say there is no shame in seeking help. When you realize that a loved one, yourself, or even someone close by is suffering, there is no shame in seeking help. Actually, seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. So there's help available, there's treatment available, and someone can get better. There is no shame in seeking help. If you need help or you know someone who does, leave a comment below and we will get back to you.